Maybe be na ke coffee fla. If you be amiela na ke focusing. Ke ejebe mi akwe. Adegesi be na ke is the object of the sentence. Coffee is the subject. And then if it is English, open keke jagomenya blah blah blah. I don't want to talk about that. Keke let me go megia. We are focusing the object which is nake, and then I'm here focusing for a reason. Elabe ebe ya tegbele ekamaji. Then mi kpo nyati veve adeo nyati gbanto nyenya enya mi kpo eva ihoho le miabe morphology me mi nya mi ye nyanye. Dake legia mi dejesi be enya ezigede edi esusu ade afie enya de se de emingblo ko elegbegbe de se de ma afie be gbedasi ade mi dibe mi ada agblo ye gado ya enya emingblo emenye enya kwi de ka ko nyo enye jesi o te kopo kwi ke jesi o te kopo kwi a ke ye vazu enya. And terminal morphologies from Amiglobe, it is difficult to define a word. The Amigbo phonological word, some semantic word, typing space word, Pluto, lexical word. Ke egia mile nkulam deji mbe enya mida jesio le enya hame ta nkawe nya ha enya hao do nyao nkonyao nkonya do nyao nyaha mi kwede egoveme be nyaha gbleo kple donkuio gble kple donkuio yemi kpɔ ta mi yemi na woƒe bɔdɔŋuwo hã nuƒo utterance ta nuƒo nye enya yi ado tso amewo nu zi ɖeka. Ta name ke nunya yi wògblɔ koa yenye eƒe nuƒo. Ta nenye be wòƒo nu zi eve, wòke nu zi evea, efie be eƒo nu zi eve. Zi ɖeka ko me le sukuxɔme. Let's just imagine that mi le sukuxɔme ye mi be miaxlẽ nu zi ale si ke the so-called talkative in the class ye woƒo nu ye ame ɖeka be zi ɖeka ko ye ƒo nu. Nkata wa ta xlẽ zie nene wòƒo nu efia be eke nu gblɔ nya zi eka alo eke nu gblɔ nya zi eve ta wata gblɔ be zi eve ye ƒo nu. Ne me be enya wònye lo yes efia be meƒo nu megblɔ enyawo be ame etɔ̃ gake zi eka ko meƒo nu ma that is one utterance. Ne me be nyawo esese hafi so efie be meƒo nu zi eve ta wòdze be miade dzesi nenema ta mi va agbel the other day surprisingly nyagbe, what did we say nyagbe is or nyagbe was James nkanye nyagbe eke ene mele hata ndongunde
Hello, dog.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. My global nyagbe anya nyawo fe fufufu alo nya si wo te fufu si de gɔmesese aɖe ɖe go alo sisi gɔmesese aɖe le anya nyawo fe
enye nyagbea
ma be ɖe anya nyawo fe fufufu sisi gɔmesese aɖe le.
That if your students ask you what a sentence is or what is a sentence, that's what you tell them.
Ma gblɔ me le be anya nyawo ƒe nka ƒe ne be fufufu te be anya nyawo ƒe fufufu alo te ale mi ta nyawo kɔkɔ ƒo afu ike ha gbede asi aɖe ɖe go na mi.
Okay, yo. ta mitenya ne mitenya opofu ya gomesesele esia efie be mi onyangbe eta menye be gomesesele esiwa menye nyagbo atanko enya okofofu atangbola be nuka ekpa ponu zigede ekpa mafo nu tanya na bla gomesesele no grammatically it could be correct. There's a subject, there's a verb, and then there's an object. Okay, we cannot accept it. Good. Nemil enyagbe poma if you ever gomososana then semantically manye be na globe enyagbe ku ejebe na pogbe eso nuka jo hafi aglobe eso gomeje sese ya lengwa ye na nage hafi na globe eso tanemi be kofi de tome nka onye anyi nyagbe atikuje chela bia ihe anyị nyagbe nkata onye nyagbe nyagbe fo jesi de kanyebe donya no dokesia element okay ta baby adele amedesi wa bia choni omi strava inua Nancy Klenovia
Aku baby are kama ni.
okay okay good ta fifia member contradiction yanye mi afani ye ami so egbe Tanu kanye contradiction. Me say everywhere like they don't fear for some time. Tanu be contradiction they no ka wenye. James.
No.
Yes.
Matama bumula ngwala gba pat magagari. Mara na bel mu vie. Magagari.
Aku doctor le nanya ba ya gbe contradiction na. Ne le nye nu gwa masese nu anukula be ale amare na gbolo nyaade ekpɔɖeŋu me ɖo mahi míame ve mi enya ɖe gbe enu dzɔm míame ve mi kpɔe ye woɖe mi ɖe aga wobie mi ɖe ale nu wòkɔ dzɔe hã ye megblẽ ye ame vevelia enya ye gblɔ ƒe ye va meva le nya ɖe dzi tom o meva nya ŋutɔ gblɔm o wòva le enya le nyamenyamea alo wòva le alakpa dam be ɖɔmahi yeade go bubu aɖe dzia yeade akpa bubu aɖe dzia wòle agblɔ be ele contradicting alo le kpɔɖeŋu me ne nye be megblɔ nya ɖe ŋdi me ye wòtrɔ me meva bubu gblɔ ma wòle agblɔ be mele nye nya gbãtɔ ye megblɔa mele contradicting tso gbɔ ema fia be mele alakpa dam enya mele wo toƒe tom o elabe gbãtɔ ye nɔsea ye wokɔ le dɔ wɔmee kɔ le dadam le velia dzi nema mekɔ se gɔmee ma.
Donc,
Yes. Nancy akpe.
míagblɔ be enye enya yi ke nàgblɔ yi ke nenye be wogabiawo be nàgagblɔ nya ma kea enya yi ke nègblɔ gbãtɔ mesɔsɔ ge kple enya vevelia o agblɔ be vovototo anɔ wɔme evea me yi ke gbedeasi ke le asiwɔ gbedeasi meva sɔ kple gbãtɔ.
Ame bubu. James, odongo na fifia vavaga.
Le nyagbe contradiction ne fakpadzi le nyagbe fakpadzi ŋua efia be enya yi ke ne nuƒola dzi be yeagblɔ enya gbedeasia ede ata nu tutu wòdzi be gbedeasia ede ata nu tutu wòdzi be yeagblɔ menye ya tututu ye ma gblɔm wòle le gbe ya ke ne dome wòle ŋu alo nya ya ke gblɔm wòle ŋu efia be le go ma me ate ŋu anye be enya aɖewo yi ke wòdze be wòazã le eƒe nyagbatuturu ɖo mea menye ya tutu me wòzã wo lo alo le eƒe nuƒoamea nu ya tutu wòdzi be yeagblɔ gbedeasi wòdzi be yeagblɔ elolia fɔ nɛ maybe re gbe ya kana do mo la mas de to ikemala shiota tanya na mama kwema
Maybe I'm a talk earlier. Okay. So, Mingo Glambe, any nyagbesi, but any nyagbe, si, but that see amele etefe o. Okay. Ta enyayo mi glofia, okatanye contradictions o. Geka heya glomie le contradiction in semantics a. Mingo Glambe, enyagbe oba me va mangbolo. Kake ekadodo la odome. They have relations. Ke ekadodo ye la odoma. Enabe enyagbe do le fe nua. Miata hwe ademe benye nyatefe. Ye le podeng me be me dogua me po ameo kple eʋuwo wole emɔdodoa dzi evɔ emɔdodoa ame ɖeke mele dzi o. Did you hear my statement? Bebe mekpɔ amewo le mɔdodoa dzi evɔ mɔdodoa mekpɔ ame kple ʋuwo le mɔdodoa dzi evɔ le gama me ame ɖeke mele mɔdodoa dzi hafi wole dzi o. It doesn't make sense. So ta enye ya ma gbɔgblɔ ma ne ele ŋku ɖe ŋua abu be ame aɖewo hi ete ɖeka blam ta egblɔ nya ye ŋutɔ gblɔ nya gatrɔ nya agbodzenyi. Ta ne mi kpɔ contradiction a afia be ewɔ nyagbe alo eɖe susu eve gblɔ gake susu evewoa le nyateƒe nua míata ŋkɔ logic akɔ draw conclusion aɖeke na wo. Okay, we can't use logic. Nuka nye logic maone. Give me example of logic where we can use logic to draw a conclusion. Makala again. Oh, Magala logic.
Magblele kpɔ lenye be mi be enu ɖeka kpli enua ne wokɔ enu ɖeka kple ɖeka kɔ kpe ne wo nɔe ele evea. Ye mi trɔe bo be ŋutsu ɖeka kple nyɔnu ɖeka woame evie wozu ɖeka logically mebe nenye wo be ne wokɔ ame ɖeka kple le kpɔɖeŋu ame ɖeka kple ame ɖeka ne wokɔe kpla ne le ame eve. Ame ŋutsu ɖeka kple nyɔnu ɖeka ne wokɔe kpe le wo nɔe ŋua wole ame eve. Gake nenye be wobe amewo le gbɔgblɔm be ŋutsu ɖeka kple nyɔnu ɖeka ne wokɔe kpla ne wo nɔewoa woɖe srɔ̃ta wozu ɖeka. Logically it's not true because ame ɖeka ame woame eve yi ma wozu ame eve ɖeka ɖeka wonye wozu ame eve. Ta nenye be mi be ame kpli srɔ̃ yi ke nye ŋutsu kple nyɔnu wozu ame ɖekawoa miagblɔ be logic ɖui be menye ame ɖeka wonye o ame eve wonye.
Ame eve wonye. So logically míata ŋgblɔ be wozu ame ɖeka o. Ta fie be gɔmesese ma mele míawo nya ŋu o be ne ŋutsu kple nyɔnu ne woɖe wo nɔewo ko wozu ame ɖeka o. Elabe ne mi xlẽ wo míata xlẽ wo eve. Menye nenema. Is that not the point you are making? So the two statements are not what? Are not conclusive. Ta omata ako logic manemio. So when we talk about logic is what? logic, deductive, inductive, and plus mamleo. Ta mi be Nancy. What a simple logic I give. Okay, all living things eat. Nancy is a living thing, so she eats. Is that not it?
Yes, Doc.
So that's the conclusion, the kind of conclusion that we have to arrive at. With this contradiction, it doesn't give us anything like that, but you cannot draw any conclusion and then arrive at a meaningful a conclusion or decision. And what you arrive at is always false. Melemel, meletepel, emeka.
Okay.
Dọkịta na ọkụmatịbe na wọ kwado nwa ada na mi na makọ ya
Ne,
kọsẹ contradiction of government ama makọ no tututu.
yeah. When I ask you to give me a affective meaning, Nancy vividly memorized everything that I said. And then the examples I gave. So she's still looking for examples to memorize. Nancy, I'm going to do that. But me go glambe gomo se le enwa manyanya tefeo. Then man na be mia bogo le pene mi onya. Name a contradiction. I mean a contradiction against two issues or two concepts. Concept that can analytic sentence, allow meaning. Then we have syntactic sentence, allow meaning. Analytica, if you be bedasi sile nyasia, eletefe allo tefe. It is true, analytic. If you be bedasi eletefe, allo tefe. Le synthetic nyagbe ma atengu tefe allo tefe. That is synthetic. So synthetic is different from analytic. Analytic, yes, we will arrive at the truth. Then, or it is a truth. It is a fact. Then synthetic. So, mi kweda. Oba ajata ono agbe abepe blaton ene. Ajata refe no ono agbe.
Papa Blaton.
Over 50 years.
Yes.
I mean, they had about the same thing now.
Dọkịta anyị manya ya ọta n'ebe ẹni ọmọ tí ma gbẹ yẹ bẹ ẹfẹ bẹ ne yẹ bọ bẹ ajata ọnù agbẹ ẹfẹ blatọ a. Ate nwa nọ 50 years. Ate nwa nọ mọ lu alùmọ ate nwa nọ mọ la. Ẹ yẹ contradiction. Okay.
No, that is synthetic. If you have glomila is synthetic. That means synthetic analytic form as part of contradiction. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Nancy, yes, go ma'am.
But I feel contradiction na ele guama from a synthetic background analytic.
Be padamu yene wonton navai be obe nyonu clinchu ozo America sike matan melemewa. Then in reality, that is what analytic be melemo. The enemy be annual synthetic if you be ata normal or manemo. Now let me be Le kpedeng menemi be jatawo no agbe abe ƒe blaetɔ̃ enea. Enye emigblea ajata they are living things, isn't it? Eƒe nene wona míawo amegbetɔ ele xixeme be míanɔ anyi o. Eƒe nene be Afrikatɔwo anɔ agbe o.
70. Bladre clergy.
That is in the Bible. Gake 55 yona be míawo Afrikatɔwo míanɔ agbe. After 55, Gaka Mall is 76. My father was 100 and something before he died. Okay. Ta akpobe atanome aloma nome. Kake in reality, obe ajata ono agbe for 14 or 15 years, 14 years. Ke is it the females also live longer? So one on what the 20 years. Ke kaka miengwa be ajata ono agbe efe blaton. Evo le nyanyene be obe lifespan ame de fe blaton. Gake ata nome aloma nomo plus sube to gbe onya enuo pe lifespan alo amegbeto pe agbeneno eyi o ha edo no agbe u nenema mi segoma eta mi gogbon be enya ata nome aloma nome. Okay, yo fifia mi nubo gbogbo oye be proposition.
Doctor.
Yes.
Kuta analytical beda si kamalama manyanya tapakura.
Menya tefel.
Okay.
No, me wagulabe, sorry. Me wagulabe analytic nyangbe da sisile etefe. Ta enye tefe synthetica ya mano tefe alo ano tefe. No be na nenye synthetica. Miento misa gome ho. Be ata doji alo ma doji. Tano mi be analytica. Efe be ata enye tefe. Or it is factual. Record earlier. Hello.
Sir.
Nancy, your baby adding.
I am a sogoma. Ma and Bulambi analytical.
Can you see my screen?
Please, yes.
Okay. So read what is there.
Anya, the gas can you not? It doesn't know about it.
Nancy, I cannot hear you.
Okay, doctor. Anya, Nabasi, the gas, Yama, the if you have a goma Silena, see, La Mania, the book. La Babaran, Ado, Anya, no similar at the book. Manya analytic, Nabasi, Manya analytic, Nabasi, the Dasi letter for Alo, Anya Yatafa. La synthetic Nagamela, at the one Yatafa, Alo Abatui. The Kodong Majata no Abba Pabla Aton and Yasia Ano and the Alumano.
Pabla name.
Sorry, Pabla Aton.
So contradiction the commune bagulombe enyaya amagbula lenya tefanua efiabe enyayo blo mele tefel. Okay, then nkata mele tefel efiabe enyagbe oza enyagbe wo chati trede wo ne ongu sikema tanye nya tefel go adeke mo. Emeka.
Okay,
I was looking for. There was a time. It was off of Viado no Miegbo. Yeah. Also for view over if you am a dog but one of 15. Walk over that tell motor I go 15. Yeah, over a lamb de fegbo. Yobe a ball a cam happy na kuyo okpo kulak blom. Moreover, a botobe ye chuyo bodekpo. Ye me deka olak bomo. Ta nede viobe a ball a cami, cafi yo vile tanakuya na kuyo ekblom. Tamene de ofio. Then enya eglomola cannot be factual. Kakeye glomo vale ma be yo me figbo. Tak bole kame hafi yo vai bo. Kanokuyola plum. And then let me be me akpa the extended meaning ha. Me also for you nka different me like I have vai bo bola plum. So their statement does not really make sense. In reality, the boy o kodak bome o gbogbo big bola kame. Ta if you be egbolonya de o contradict enya blon the reality allo enya ve glomele mesodo neungu. We have I have other examples kake they mean something else sikemia ponichonti le padang me ne mebe elevevem le vivim elevevem le vivim. Okay, let me be an elevivim. What does it mean? Let me be an elevevem. How what does it mean? Okay, somebody is enjoying something that is elevavem levivim. Amade gwagwagabe no. Then elevavem, maybe if you may vivim or then vivim. Okay. So we have similar issues. But amade agblonya de nyaya magbla it contradicts is what we are saying is not in reality be millennia veblon be like cold and then hot, cold and hot. That, but we can look at it. Deafening silence. The and what do this is here? Ele etogbam na yo. Hello.
No,
But amado do they was ya. Ele etogbam na yo. Alo do they was ya ele fudem na yo. Let me be the day or zero for them now because the person is not talking. The can be the day or zero or talk bam be then it doesn't make sense in that case. So the sentence wouldn't make sense to you. Then they are contradictory or all are all contradicting. Okay, so yemi blave let me be analytic if you be mile enye anukodi akpavemele nguo. Okay. Analytic if you bring at bedasiel langwa menye bring bagloga be melemo any is factual. Okay, let me be something is factual if you there is evidence. Mm, there is evidence be mi kwe mi atando kweji be any nyatepe alo element kakene mi be ano nye synthetic. Hello, enye synthetic goma sese. Hello, nyagbe. If you be nyagbe na mi egbula. Nyatang, akwe adagesi be enyagbia matang, anye nyatefe dedo. El akpave. Akpave wole nye be atanye nyatefe. Hello, nya de chome, aglobe ocho. Enye glomo le menye nyatefe. They say that there's open secret. Have you heard it before? Open secret. No, be open secret. If you bang, enye gagla gake elega glagbe amesi ame ase ta o enya ma de me open secret enya if you bele nya na mesi ame be ale no alenki. Okay, so if it is so, then in some way ele onye agbojeni. Now no be na nya agbojeni ale temi yoga literature me. Nancy. Enya onye agbojeni.
Enya totore ma.
Enya dotre.
Enya bojani ha. Enya totore.
Hello blogale.
Oga yeri.
Hello blogale English bema.
Anthony. That's Anthony.
Okay.
Enya totore alo nya bango.
Mi ebe nyang bango ha. Wow.
Oga yeri nya bango.
Nyamasa kama. Ta miata nglobe amekuku nagbe. Ame amekuku nagbe onye. Mi sekwa. So the white man's definition for ancestors is that the living dead. Then when we were at the training college, you were asking, how can it be a living dead? Am I like bega kakuya loku havi like be? Hey, I mean blabe nuka. I'm a nagbe kuku. Ta amaku. Akemi be like be. Am I like bega kemi be ku. So nya glomila logically. Mata no menya tefebe ame ekua ega like be. Then wakukudo. So we contradict ourselves. Now, proposition. Look at your proposition. Have you heard it before? Yes, it will. As a theory, but by my day from theory. As a theory, but make I say theory, but Nancy.
Doctor. Proposition no klabe enya de ka mare globi no ko idamane.
Say.
Yes.
Maraku theory a bi bloba amada esusunana alojiba esusole le si eyo de glo eyo jiba wo idama la da ko mama ba wonya anwi ka wosa eyo de vina betokuma
In your theory. Good. Happy amada na wa theory. Theory if you be who want to structure na nenguti yo kpobe enu yo sra na yo kwede moya nua adevi ta na yo kwele moya nua adevi le kwede ngume Himes 1972 mi kweva idealo the acronym speaking Kemile 315 now Himes kwebe nenyebe amedele nupoma nana o Jonah.
Auntie Nancy. Hello.
Nga doctor nkosomo.
Mabia.
A preposition emi nya enye ha ba tro la ka. Hello.
Oba preposition lo.
Aba
Oba preposition lo. Oba
aba propo.
aga screen akpọ ma.
I ma pe.
Ya ma screen akpọ mo re.
Oba
Ma de
amanya prio ba zo proposition.
ya bo propose na na.
Propo.
Ya bo do susu ada. Susu ada. Ya ko ma sama.
Na si ha ga mo gaga mo nke jo.
Awo.
Sara fi na ba ya har ko ga trojo.
Me as usual.
Ana we. Amakugba bie.
Mara kuma ba faga kuli. Oba contradiction here.
Contradiction. The statement we are making is contradicting itself.
Synthetic. I think what
Sister Lucky, Doctor proper.
Amanya.
Enya
Mano yoma fi.
Enye nakwaba amare no nyom ya call no interrupting with near abo malaguma dameto anabanye out ya gona
Okay.
anaba ya battery aba run down ya ba chifu na restart
Aba.
Okay. Ta miengwa anya ka blama na nyam kujula nyaji.
Theory.
Propositions.
Theory panya blama ulafi.
Oma proposition ama ko theory ala.
So menangwa blambe a theory is propounded. Tahafia madena au akpa alo ado theory there. Atona stages so the stages are udo method kanye proposition. Proposition alomia globe banto. So there's a conception and then there is a idealization. But my global onia nivai susumana efianyo. Then from proposition you are from hypothesis. Hypothesis if you have a day posigede your bubenyo ta akwedade dutopo ba mo hanu zenpo be anyo ha. Ke nenye be amade ha day po yo benyo then it becomes a theory. Ke amuwano zazam. So the first stage be na conceive idea be enwane no ala that is proposition. Okay. Ta efiabe susu doda onye amade pa susu si ododa be ale ekpona na enye yi. Okay, so let's read what is here and see. And Nancy, do the reading.
Doctor Maku projection amava.
Never.
Akwa. Okay, Eva. Proposition. Anya no posi wo hode emaba gomasasa fa de free ene. Anya nyasi amade de glo sika de nana fa nonome. Sika de nana fa nonome fia. Atenwa de jesibe anya nyate fa alo manya nyate fa o. the proposition mala ya te ŋu atrɔ nyagbe la gake gbedeasia matrɔ o.
Okay. So nuka ofia nuka o dejesi na mi.
Doctor ma wɔ example yɛ kpɔ bi anɔ me ho. La kpɔ ɖe ŋu ma proposition ya nye nu kuma kpɔ ma be it's just the upgrade of synthetic nene. Ke me be ma gblɔ be gbe ɖeka le wo be ame ɖe fifi efialẽ. Ye wo be ale wɔ kafialẽ hã ko be yi me fialɔ ta eye va le aɖuɖɔ ɖɔm koe ko alẽ va le ava kpɔ ye li. Ta le gome ma le gome ma egblɔ nya wòfie be ɖɔ fialẽ ma gake le go bubu ma ɖɔ ma yi nɔ gava bie ke ye wɔ be ne lã lie la akpɔ be gbedasiawoa enya ye gblɔm wɔ la etrɔ nya gake gbedasi metrɔ. Efi be efialẽ ye wɔ be o eye le aɖuɖɔɖɔ ya lie va le ava kpɔ ye ne ye li ye lã lie kɔfi me gake la another time wogabie wɔ be ye li ne lã lie gake kɔ be ne fialẽ kpoa gbedasi nye be efialẽ. Ta ne ma nye me kpɔe abe ma kɔ kpe ɖe ŋui ma ne ma me kpɔe ma nya be dzɔ ha.
I think element plus susu be enua menye tɔ hafi ole o. Ye ne nane menye tɔ ne lia ke ɖe ne fi. Ta ne be ɖɔ le ye kpɔm ye li. Eli kɔ yi ga me kɔ yi ne ŋutɔ. Ye egava gblɔ be ne ko ye li. Wo katã efi nya koe. So tsɔka ve na de gbɔ kpli kɔ gbɔ ve na wa de ka wo katã ɖeka koe. Ta mi gbɔgblɔ de proposition ƒe nuɖoanyi ƒe susu nye be enu wònye ame aɖe to gɔme eto gɔmetoto wònye ne nane ame ɖe edi be yeawɔ nane ye wòdze gɔme ta ni wòdze gɔme akpɔ ta nɛ alo mava kpɔ ta nɛ o eme kɔa akpɔ ta nɛ alo mava kpɔ ta nɛ o ta nenye be mekpɔ ta nɛ oa then ese mɔ dzi keke ne wòkpɔ ta nɛa ke mi le ezã ge now nuka he takpɔkpɔ nɛ alo ta makpɔ nɛ o efie be whether we can have truth in it. Ne mi va le kpɔm be menye nyateƒe oa then it is not true. Le kpɔɖeŋu me there is a susudoɖe aɖe be amegbetɔ enu yi na amegbetɔ aƒo enya yi wòazã efia be enya ele eƒe gbe me ta nenye be enya ma mele eƒe gbe me oa ke ezu bleziblezi woanɔ kpɔkpɔm ya míagbɔtɔwo gblɔ be ke ezu nunya ezu nunya si ke nya afɔkpa ɖeka le afɔ nɛ nɔ be afɔkpa ɖeka le afɔ na wa efia be nu yi le asi wa mede ve o. Okay, so the person says that now there's truth in it keke to some extent míava kpɔe be menye nyateƒe gblɔm o lo because we borrow, we rely on other languages, we coin, we fabricate. So you might not have a word necessarily in your language before you talk about something. We can even be descriptive. Me, I don't want. Now, then another school of thought, Baglombede, and Yemunabu, Law Susuma, if you been one Lord Bemahafi, so you have words for those things before you can think about them. So does this make sense? Yes, somehow it makes sense. Then there's a proposition. That's what the person said. That before you think about something, then you have a vocabulary for that. If you don't have vocabulary for it, you cannot think about it. Then you can no. So what the person said is true for you. Yeah, but the valuable, but we can talk about things that we don't have vocabulary for. We can think about things that we don't have vocabulary for. We can imagine things that we haven't seen before and talk about them and finally develop vocabulary for them. So what the person said is not true. So it's a proposition, it's a stage. I don't know what to swada. Tamafia suswa achi. Avazu nyatefe siayo. Nyatava kwebe mwenye nyatefe. So then ne obe amede wonane. Yeah, I'm about yeah, my well. Let's look at the situation. Can somebody give a situation like that? I'm out my will. Then in the long run, aside from her, Ninke blow, Nancy blow. In the long run, Enya will be my way, me try, bedasi, alonya tepelema, me that is one instance. Gake proposition and proposition is a immature stage of something. Sike enemiva kuema hata vanyinya tefalo ma vanyinya tefalo. So let's see how we can bring our own examples or give our own examples in the language. And make together so that we see a scenario. Then we can draw a conclusion that is the proposition.
Doctor, kodang mana ba? Aku sito ika o pala garden alo papo sito ika nyable ni duola mio agbolom mi dola pamela me die kaba no agbolom nyama ate wanom aro ihe mate wanom kama konye susu dora vebe susu eta ye me die kaba onye be mi me di atike papo sito ika mi duola garden no take ame yo duye le gbososo ma wo di atike ta na be edie kaba o gblan kaba ha
Nyamesanya.
be mata glo be mata propose be paposhito alo able ye mi bola agbele mi garden abi apona gbele di mommy die ne pote gbele mommy die wo ba ble we wo me die kaba o me gblan ha kaba ka eika moduole agbelemela wo odie hegbela kaba ha amoduole gbososoma na wo bia basusu kata yo han ke maglobi ha gbososo ame oduele gbososoma wo dia tike ka me oduele pote wo me dia tike ta na be megbele na kaba ye me dina kaba ha eno anyi tefe dina
Okay.
Dog.
I'm able.
Dog. Maraku lododo ade ono gbogblomo na mba do makpon ba ro mahima abi asol akpa ha madwira kpo ono gbogblomo ba oba ma ba nusio kata manya nusio kata kana la nya shika o alo nya shika o tala go mama susu dorama makpon ba ala go vama sikang toha klana gakana no holia masika wanyo gaka oho klana tala anya vama le nyagba mama mi kpode de chiba ava leve le susu dorama va leve le moy nguba sikang toa anu nya klana ala kparaka agovama govaliama na no holia wo klana abaka shika ka wonya ga ka wo ha la go mama ma shika wonyo tala susu dora mama bamanya nusianu ikana nyagbama bama nusianu ikana kana ayanya shikao nyakwa ba anami lekman blagi susuare iko jeba nyake ma akwara bare ni aglo malare nyate le malu alo malamu nana ma mana makpomi ma le gore ma.
So you are giving a situation that I'm a global.
Manya nusianu ikana klana ya enya shikao if ya nyagba makpora nya gboba nya kama akpora bare efa nya adda yi mano gbaglon bala gore ma adda gore ma ha mi kpaga ba anya ya wo glo mado ima mano mbara ba adda ala ba shikang to aklana anu odo li me shika wo honyo ha wo klana anya gba ma aye mi kuma ni bana kpaga ba nya gba ma ala tefa ga ko hanya go jaja ma jev ala ba mi ala nkura nwi afia te nwa kpo nya tefa to la mu.
For James. Hello, for James. Nyagba ma de do blana ma ko blana guare mo ngolo. Basi nyamba oba manya misiano ikaka na enye sika. Nyate fo hayo. Ba la kodam nanya ba o sika shi manya sika yo. Sika yo no sika shi na china da. Ul halaka kalama manya sika o. Is true. Da fi be enwo eleke klanga ka manya misiano ikaka na manya yenye sika. Nyate fo yenye kuma. Kaka menya gwo ka manya nyate pelo. Da like but you must go ma la goya go ma be malanya malama. But you must go mama. That's where na ma ye example ma ko wan ma ga te tota.
Suara ma kosim ha do do kadang nya alo nya defa ile baba na nya ba nkura nya mangu anu ika kwa kana ya nya shikawa ne ko nya ma ko bi nya lan nkura mu akanya su ma ken afuna ba da falma nya
Onupola breaking.
Anywa. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, onyo.
Mano aglamba na de. La nka proposition fa akpaji kana anya susu kana bana mai kodora. Ika no lan kurema okpoba anya nyatefalo alo nyatefa mala mo e blo mala bala akpaya na mi lan kura alo dodo manwa ba ma manya no shanu ika kwa klan yi wo blo banya shikawa nyatefe mangura share ika ko aklana yenya na shikaw arawa wo ka klanga vo masikawo nyu ga kana na make kayo klana ha wo ke ga ton ko mata nya gbama avala va banano li wo klana da kama shika wanyu aye ado gali ga klana ha o ganya shika tala ba mi alan kure to sudura man avala goma
James, can you hear me?
mara ku
Anya glomila nyabede. No ba bubla nyamate. Give your statement. I don't know whether it's the second part of the proposition you are looking at.
I'm looking at the first one, the preposition.
You are looking at the first part.
Yes.
Menyebe atrona be enyagbe atro keke bedasia atro menya glomnelo.
Mara ku
Okay, then the first one we have to start from a positive premise. Be amade denyade blo. Chu nane penonomengu. Okay. Okay, if we look at it, but all that greatest is not what? It's not gold. Okay, enu yo katankle na menye sika onyo. That is a proposition of somebody. Benu yo katankle na menye sika onyo. Okay. Yemi va kpobe ele menye tefebe chu enu yo kata ke klema edo onye sika edo menye sika. That proposition is true. Ke then we can move from that stage. But it becomes a hypothesis. Then hypothesis, then something. Then someone can also come out with something. But this is a proposition. But Benuyo katan klena onye sika. Benuyo katan klena onye sika. Then major government, some of them are not really sika. Then if it is not so, then upper prepositional, ajabe miazen alo miazen. Then stage man. So to propose something is based on your observation. So it's a kind of declaration you are making based on your observation about something. Miafe minister be miado miadegbe akofianu deviao. It's a proposition. Yeah, madam, but yo enya minister gbla yo dibe no wa gbla be no do odegbe ne wa koko pede English gba. It's the same message. The message is that no oza degbe na kofi anu de viawe. Ta nebe de kokonko kwekpem the English ngwa. It's the same message you are putting across. So the proposition is that no oza degbe wa kofi anu de viao in all schools. It must be strictly observed. Okay? Then you go to the class. Algebra like na yaga de fekbe me. Menyo, yana yede English beme. Hey ha menyo, evagle de English beme. So yo vakbo, benuka omnele. Oh, mele fekbe play English bezam kole nwa fiame. Ela benyi metemayo nyado de fekbe me. So you are teaching, but you are obeying the minister. You are obeying the minister in the sense, but you are making your effort to teach in the Ewe language or in a Ghanaian language. So whatever that somebody put it, but is bilingualism is the same declaration that a native language must be used. Okay. So this is a point we are making. That is a proposition, is a standpoint of someone based on observations the person has made. Emeka.
No, me okay.
Good. And me have a see the mengblanya de color lucky.
Say enye enyi elu anyale madia fi na ya gba gbiri ko enye susu omi.
Ebe ya bolanya lo, ebe ya bia lo, ebe ya bolanya de.
Ma bia ba ke elu ane ko ba no zande le kemie ko ga akowe afi na gba gbiri fu ba okay. Ile nye susu ma. That's ya pa nyema. Maga.
Bolanya be ya bolanya ka.
Ai mabade. Ika na no proposition na fanya blom de. Basu sura e menye won ba so number ka uboko L1 na lo bagba ko fien de via we de ka afi alekemia apakemia dagadu e ma bia fi ko na dwida tale na dwida na de go fi
So, miantanko a proposition okay, that is a declarative. That is a first sentence somebody makes about something. Hafi miava butamelengu. Be nuka tututu o nyeha. Gomasasaka mia koneha. Okay. So, proposition could be mikponane ya mingle. Benuma o nyema. Then amedava kwe. Agble le mobugunu. Amedava kwe. Agble benui miengbola eleme alo meleme. And because at the end, it may be proven not to be the case. Okay. So, then, over me if you are no clever and we will start with it. Miakpoda, oh, donage mean the miamoyo lafagba, have you have taken a good step or decision. Now, semantic for relations, so allow semantic for aboge dodo. That nenyembe nka me bolonyanda, we are looking at semantic relations. Neme bolonyanda afiebe me kponane hafi le enyang blom alo le blom ke eni me kpo ye na nange ye kpekpegede miangu hafi amade na se enya blom ye la amana se gome bliboy enya eni me kpo abe mebe Nancy wonu abanchu ene Nancy wonu abanchu ene ke egome nya emegblofia egome de efia bena ne mekpo hafi ble. So those things will help me or help meaning to be arrived at. Alo miakpo gome sese na enya tututu miwe mi dibe mianglo. Nuka na hafi mianglo be Nancy ni ewonu abanchu ene. Okay, there's is it a negative term? Let's look at it, whether it's negative or positive. Nancy, don't be worried. Maybe Nancy, adore avadudo. Nobody mind adore avadudo. They're going. Give me the meaning first. I've forgotten of my. So help me. Nancy, if you ever, I didn't understand. That's why I use it. So don't be offended if it is negative.
noba mara noba nyɔnu enye mara yi ke ne eƒe nuwɔna nye eyi ke nye aʋaɖoɖoe ɖɔɖɔ alo eɖo aʋaɖoɖoe efia be eƒe nuwɔna yawo ke ne wɔm wòle alo ƒe nyagbɔgblɔ kple eƒe nuwo katã enye eyi ke nye ŋutsutɔ alo ŋutsu ƒe nuka wɔna ƒe ɖeɖefia le eƒe nuwɔna me. Ŋutsu ƒe wɔna alo ƒe ɖeɖefia dzedzem le ya nyɔnua me alo le ƒe nyagbɔgblɔ me ƒe nuwɔnawo me. Ŋutsu ƒe nɔnɔ ƒe wɔna dzedzem le eme le ƒe nuwɔna be nyɔnua.
Ta hafi miagblɔ be eɖo aʋaɖuɖɔa efia be ŋutsu ƒe dzedze le eme. Ta ele nu wɔm abe ŋutsu ene. Ele amenŋgɔ ŋlɔm abe ale ne ŋutsua ŋlɔ amenŋgɔ ene. Then wòva ve dɔme ne wotɔ nyɔnuwo yɔ be Nancy ya nu ŋutsuwo be nuwɔna ye ma wɔm wòle. So it is based on the observation. So the observations they have made or we have made will ease meaning. Ekpekpege mianu be enya yi gblɔ mia la miase gɔme. Be ne mi gblɔ Nancy ƒe nya be ele aʋaɖuɖɔe ɖɔma, what happens? Nancy aʋa mele si o. Hmm. Yeah, I feel very life as uncle I do domi. In my major boy, John anymore. Makawe is Zava, Codo do. If you bang tree, that if you ever Nancy Lenua, my bang tree. So the observation, those other things will make us understand what we meant by Abadu Dedo. Emeka.
Ekwe.
So these are the ideas. Now, make presupposition. Nunca presupposition. The number presupposition. Nunca onye. Uh-huh. Presupposition. Presupposed. Let me say, maybe I know you by video domain. Uh-huh. Nunca onye presupposition. No. Oh, my net is off.
Oh, your mic is.
Nanya ba korang na mi ba to ta para ya mare biu azama bo mango esida mi ko mango
Mm.
se para ya lu mi chebe mango mare ka pila teji be ya bu mango ya mu ka mi ka ba to ga mango mali ye me bie be o ne ba fi mango nya ta ka alu va do mango ka e ya ba presuppose masanya la chu mango ti ba jo e che ba ka egbe ike mango mali wa onyama mo bu bare ke gren mo ame ye nyina ke mi so so e ko nya ntara e ma ma ne ti bi mi ne bele tele ji o ka bom enya bie me le ju enye ti o tu la e pe me le ba yi bu ta enya o bie me le ju en
Mm-hmm. Ne mi hoy dama.
Oh,
Mi hoy dama. Nehe, nunca ta mi hoy dama o. Nancy. Nancy.
doka
Mm-hmm. Na o scenario makpora. O
bebe
scenario ba titi pu me ba ngula ble ne mami question do mne mia mi te do papas go. Tag ble po play na
ore
market.
ma to te pare ya ma mi to te pare ya
Mhm.
mango la ti ji
Mhm.
ya ma ami ame kpere nti ye glong be ye bo mango fi je chosa examen ye bo mango ma gbe examen tate ngo kemi gala to gala ye mango ma gala ti ejeta me bie se bede
Mm.
de ba fi mango nya te ko ha wo ba fi mango nya te ba da efie be prisop me se nya cho mango nti hoho ha fi ni magama mango komo tara na me bie nya mala me nya nya wo nye te melele ji o nyateƒe nyawo nye be egblɔ be yegbɔ mangɔ gbe ge da alo yegbɔ mangɔ le afi ge da la ne mebie se be ye va fi mangɔ nyateƒe hã
Yeah, Mama, why would tell us why you would not accept it as an example for presupposition?
okay. I think her example is almost right, but not entirely. The focus of presupposition mostly is that it's not about when something happened or the person involved or something. It is about the two parties already having knowledge about what they are talking about. So, with her own example, I think it would be more appropriate if we are focusing on the parts where the next day, after asking the question, asking the question presupposes that the other person she is asking the question was present the previous day and knows about the mango she is asking about. I don't know
Yes,
whether
so that's what I mean. So it means that we are moving about. We've come back again to the tree. Or are you the is did you plug it? Did you truly plug it yesterday? So now it's left with the person to tell me that, oh yes, I
It's
did.
like no, like mango abunya tefe. Okay. Yeah, Mevabia, let's say James, Lucky. Yeah, Mevabia, James Bede. Ke okay, let's say do waha do mango ha. Mango bula jielo. Ye Mevabia be do mango ha. Afye be onya no chomu be amede blobe ye bo mango gbege. Ka mango ye wo gbede. Afye be ado house do ha. Have you eaten the mango? Somebody may be surprised at the question. Oh, I didn't eat any mango. I haven't heard anything about it. Why are you asking the question? So there's a premise. Okay, because somebody said Nancy Bay mango bega. If you make a mango, manyala jioko, Nancy Vagbe mango. Ke nyebe, 100 odriha. Okay, then because they are Nancy's friends. Tane Nancy ponunyala owe. So it is a condition. It's conditional, but annually naneta amadela nyabiemla. For example, miape example is agamila lefi. Nyebe what is it? Le kpadangume ne amade bia novia be denetro agbala nangutoa. Denetro agbala nangutoa. Okay. Denetro agbala nangutoa. So mango ebu. In this case, miatambia, oh, Nancy Vagbe mango. Then, if it is Nancy who plucked the mango, Elabe, look at me, baby, amdo. Previously, she showed a sign by a banana mango bege, so we can easily ask the question. Now, let me bet the network banana muntoa. If you ever yes, there's a situation. I'm a de agbale. Yale nyanya nam. Okay. Yole nyanyana mtamele baby ambe the track balaha. So the presupposition is that there's borrowing of the book. Then what follows is a question about the return of the book, the same book. That if I tell you that sit down, sit on the chair, I have offered you a chair, isn't it? Ya
Yes.
ke nenye meko sikpe na o. Ye me bene na inde pupu aji. Ke eje bena biya be chenu olela. Why is he saying it? But ine me va ko ezinami. Pio ye kume me va bia o. Nancy ma bobo na ndezi ejiwa. I have offered you chairs. So I can ask that question. So there's offering of chairs first. But
Mafu the network na mtu amari the okebe na te valo moto.
enka be a question in
Nya mo be the network na mtu. Nguto amari fi motolo alo
Nuoto, nguto, agbalato, nuto.
nguto
Yes,
alo
I
ni
may
mekwe kama.
I may edit no is angloving.
Oh, okay.
So nguto, nuto,
Say,
yes.
but today,
Mm,
me po hera,
okay.
me go I'm on of
Mm,
those ke novia akudi, maybe you kudi a manya wu ha. Ta
mm,
setara no awu
mm,
anya ba sent ma lo pa di popo e to la nyanyi ni kumara kapi
mm,
no via ba o kofi akponu ofu be gbamba ele ti ba
mm.
de agbamagu me de le ke ye kpoge
Say it again.
afia ba amo me ve
Mm,
bozo amara kapa akudi mele chuta akudi akamara
mm,
ke akana kpoba sent no be so fare no amangu afra
mm,
ka ụzọzọ keke ma va bi be o ekpu nu ofu a nu ofu enya jara ekpu nu ofu a ele nya nyi ni be no gbo be nu ofu be ile ti alo ipo nye do ni nye na ma bi
mm,
ma ele nya nyi ni ese gomo koko afi bi nye
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
eh
So there's a situation, there's saint. Ta yeta obianya, yeta onyama biemendo. So at answer government. So the background is there already. Be kafa, nana le yadem, ekwenenema. So that is possible. Now
okay
let's look at it. I'm a veola zidu. Okay. Yeah. Amedeka le aziadum. Echurama jajemo. Eke novia fechuro le jajem. Yeah, Medeka biaba adolazia dunkle chroha. Okay. Because what is expected and what is known, nyebenela ziduma, ejebe chronaje, mazia dugetle. Tanebe trama jamawa, then I can ask that question. Okay. And it presupposes be elazia dunkle chro mele wamde alo jebe we ejio. So now let's look at it. Nyasi afia be amage agbala ade cho amade boy. Nenye be demage agbala ola oma bia cho esibe watro agbala na nuto. Okay, so nuto has become something else here. Now let's look at it. Ita nenye be eya demewa eya mevava mewa. Then America might be in relation to that. So what we are saying, nyebe nano penade miang be mia se enya ogome. Okay. Be nya ya made bia alonu fo ya made fo ase gome. Okay.
agree
Hmm.
So, hello, Doc.
Yes.
Meku, bedema asemo me kpokpore de nipa gomen servide nu. Meku e magbo be efia be presupposition ya efia be nu fofokure nu nya dia de untia. Ekpere ume na me gboro be kojo me gale ahanum o. Efia menya be nu na hacha di ahanunu pe nu no mefiana ke fifia me gale nu. Nebe school vida la yo school come me bana school kama on fesa de je school va kabana me grobe me ga gbe a school me ga ya me bana kamba me ku ne nkuku be nu gbro mi na afọ nu kure nu nya dia de unti
Gana pada ngwa ke.
Kpọrọ gbante ebe n'ebe megblɔbe kɔdzo megale aha num o efia be menya be nuna aha gake efia la megadze ahanula o alo ahanumu ta megblɔ be megale aha num o n'ebe ɖevi ɖe tsina megbe vana school all of a sudden ko megatsina megbe ye megblɔ be afi megale megbe tsim fifia afi megatsia megbe o nenem kuku like aƒo nuku ɖe naɖe nya nya dia
Nime afi megatia megbe wa. And yeah, that is fine. But we are looking at two situations. Then the present situation is true or not true based on the previous knowledge. Me teacher on previous knowledge is so me corner we have previous knowledge. It I mean blabbe presupposition nye abogedodo sile x plus y domain. Abogedodo sile x plus y domain. Nenye be x penya nye tepela efia be y nye tepe. Nenye be y mele eme o la efia be x mele etepe o. Okay. So
Dɔkta ke le kpɔ ɖe ŋu nenye be ame aɖe menya be woafɔkpa la gbee. Menya be woafɔkpa la gbee ye alo afɔkpa la ŋdi me. Ye wosrɔ̃ me kpɔe. Eko le afɔku. Kpala ta.
Yogolan ga.
Alo afɔkpa.
Nancy Olion. Hello. Hello, Nancy. Nhưng mà sao với nhau luôn?
Aku mah bedanya dia sama dua kepala, mempani dua kepala, yang ini juga kepala. Ye, magata kue kula kubuluzo. De, ye kumepie beri. Da afokpa matentu ta kubuluzo da. Da matentu afokpa ta kubuluzo da.
That also makes sense. It makes sense. It presupposes be umata afokpaneota will have kubuluzo. Okay. Then the other way around. Nenyebe afokpala ndime yako ndome ko pe wala wodo afokpa yako the auto afokpa na wa the auto afokpa na wa efia be enya ba afokpala ta wo ba bi afifia to is based on the knowledge you had be afokpala ta eta be bia be the auto anyhow happy would they fifia. So you are making a point. Emekoang.
Hey, say,
Yes.
But I could imagine glue the spot.
And Blake Bong.
You global into other, I know. I fear I call find when we go to Drama. And Hanomunoto. Sir, the mamma, I know that you too. I see Dota. Never a hakununata, never to work over. Oh, coffee, then a womoji bar. I tell you about coffee.
So the question is the negawu mojiagba. The negawu mojiagba. So the assumption is that enyanu chwa mo wu jimuti yetane babia biamdo. Or you even draw a conclusion. Oh, kofi ga umoji egba yeto abobo na inda fumando. Okay, so your statement is based on the fact that he has been doing that. So we are saying leash. Gbagblamba presupposition nye abogedodo be s plus y odo aboge ta enyai le gaglagba ado aboge plus hey ma le gaglagba. Alo enya eve deo ekadodo le odome ta deka ekude novia ŋu emekwa. Okay. So there's another one. Entailment. I'm at the next let say entailment.
Entailment. Ayanu si Lona de Emma Crystal 1998 Globe. Nya entailment nya kadodo sile nya gbe evedome. Edefi abanya tefenya. Edefi abanya tefena nya gbe evelia chokban togbo. Entailing situation nya gbe gbanto evelia nye entailed situation. Efi abanya gbe evelia de nya gbe gbanto po sublo.
Okay. Your comments, Mama Gang. Mama Do.
Papa.
What does it mean?
Entailment zigede ha dogole abe presupposition elo nyagbe bubu deme kadodo la okli nyagbe bubu odome ta mostly anu ike entailment wona nyebe how will I say it? It has a lot of components in the dokole abe nkama call supply. Nemye ko azi na eklazia eviole emesogbo. That's how entailment works. So atankpo nyagbe gbogboza. Tana ko nyagbe deka, which will be the broad sentence. It will have a lot of babies under it. Talakpodoma neme globe Dr. Aziakunye nufiala gan le University of Cape Coastal ke elo nyabubu de ma be Dr. Aziaku enya Cape Coast nyagbe bubu ha tanyebe ewo PhD bubu ha tanyebe wo pe undergraduate ta elo nyagede o de eme. So if I say one sentence, there are a lot of components in that sentence. That's how the entailment works. But with the presupposition, it's mostly based on just two premises, where one is dependent, the truth of one is dependent on the other one, and also based on previous knowledge. Yeah.
So let me by entailment. There are entailing situations. So there are subdivisions or subsets. Do we put it subset? Yes. Mathematically. But edowa nemi gblonya deka le kpodengu me nemi be nasi nye nyɔnufia what are our expectations about nyonufia? If you have a Edward Nudalo, are you getting it? Look at how Fiaga one as was only blow. Go girl. And what else are we expecting?
First of all, if you have an answer,
Okay, Tanemi Bay and Nyonufia, if you have a nyon when Yantafe, Hafinya if Etamigo Benionufia. Okay, if we were to be in English, Yami Global Queen. Ke Makaimia Yobel Queen, if you have a nyon when Kake Levegbe Global Nyonufia, so that is clear. Ben Nyon when ye Hafinya Fia. Ta Hafimiako if you have Nububu Ocho and
atanyela be menye wa meto because le eva opa konunua kafla o ma tan akọ America nye wa meto apa akodo fie.
Nancy, James,
Doctor.
Dawobua. Yes.
How do say akpamaku ha no ba nyong fia mi baba ipang popo la ma how to ha idega fia ba nyong fia onya baba.
Okay. Let me let's look at the two terminologies. We have entailing situation and then entail situation. Let me let me have the document. Tamilang could then let me have new let me glen new yenam. Kaela noviame. We have entailing situation. The entail situation entailed. Ele Kami bagulamba entailing situation yen nyagbe banto. Alo susu banto amede deglo. Then entail situation nye evelia. If you ever decale decame, menye nenema. Ta kale decame. Entailing situation kwa entail situation kalo no me.
Entail situation here le entailing situation.
Okay. James, ese goma.
Dog Marakwe.
Eva nang padeng, nese goma ko nang padeng.
Okay. Pada muda ma gblanya afi alaba ajui. Afi alaba ajui. Ka number ba ma mira telling and the entailed situation fa kpajia. Telling one kenya susu banto a enya ba ajui alaba entailed one a kenya susu valia enya ba afi
Nyang blog bahavi la nyatrong ya. Blog nyanyi.
Mana kumana blog bari. Agbe mo enya ba afi alaba ajui. Afi alaba ajui. Dog mai ja.
Naidi.
Imano boblomba susu banto ikenya and telling situation yenya ba imajala nya gbapakpa iba ajui entailed situation na nya afui ana ba jua ngo na bufua
Jujuadong banyak.
okay
Okay.
Yeah, nyamalo then for James for one.
And I want for James. So, for James, you know, Kanga has to logo. Come on that way. James, Alenia, James, hello, Jabamia Conway, every day. One situation could be found in the other one easily. Okay, and then you yourself, you notice that the logic was wavering. But now, am I then? Yet our widow.
okay
Okay. Oh, me babe. I'm a la vifam. I'm a la vifam. Yemi be oh, I'm a the ofwe. I'm a the ofwe. Nkata ofwe amado. Ala be juame. So, I'm a popua. What I'm a popua. What it entails is a juju. I don't know whether it makes sense in that way if we put it that way.
Doctor, please come again.
Ofuama. Okay. Ofuama yola vifam. Yeah, ele nyanyana mi be ama ju amede. So yemi so what ama yo ofua what it entails. What it entails nyebe eju. Eju ame eto afwedo.
Yeah.
Oh, dog.
Maybe what do you want to say? Did you put up your hand?
Yes, juju amala nyanyana miode. So first of all, for James for one or double barreled. Because that's a conjunction.
I was hesitant thinking, saying that, but something must be obvious. What should be obvious, nyebe? That must be obvious first. But ama the name of no agbeima. Happy no where we can easily draw that conclusion.
And the sentence here, but now parameters na messiam na so that's what Doc said. It should be obvious. Like let me be Apato John Dramani Mahama Nyegana Duplola. You have to use the parameters of what makes someone become a president. If you meet all those criteria, what is the plural form? Is it criteria? Yes.
Criteria is a plural.
All the criteria to become a president. If it entails that Mr. John Dramani Mahama is 40 years and above. He is 40 years and above.
So
he has no criminal records. So it should be obvious. For James.
Madam.
Miracle at Doka Omnella.
Oh, no fiala manya.
And having a vazunufiala parameters kao jabana meet having a zunufiala. Tanya sentence anya for James Nyanufiala. What will be some of the components or the is it
entail situation.
Entail situation. For James.
Mama.
Oh.
Ta na nyaba for James nyanu fiala ikanya and telling situation na ka fia ba and tell one hour ikanya nu yuma ko je boto fia nyanu fiala banto kala ba wa adda suku hai la bo wa suku alo ya ala
Alo, he abanu fiala ene.
abanu fiala ne
Kaja teaching license, hana masio.
no fia pa ni raseri bala na noshi iha na
If you have a license exams,
okay, yeah.
so that's how it works. That's how entitlement works.
So remember glambe entitlement ninya be enya heile novia ma na he banto nyenya tepa efie be novia ha nyenya tepa ninya be banto mejoa novia ha majojo go ta nemie gbolonya da efie be gologio wole nya ya mie gbolongu ta miatewa akọ dem bobo ebe hema wo ha wojo nya tepa. Okay, now and then as I said, but the situation must be obvious. Nancy, Nancy Coco, elabe ya enye vigbanto oji. What am I using to measure that? It doesn't make sense, or it doesn't exist that way. But a vigbanto de sia da Coco. I don't know na kwe mikwa. Kaka nenye be mena a situation na if what follows should be possible, should be deduced from the previous one, then it means that it is an entailing situation. Am I correct? Tafifia mikpo ededa agbemonye sukuji pola. Okay, so now by my denya sukuji pola, what happens? Now let's look at doctors yakunye tatona epedawope. And did we write this book when I was ahead? So nyagbesialo nyabubu odeme abe doctor sronu mamlea. So nemembe just like nemembe James nyanufiala James awonunka afiabe edasuku mechi abojokpo eho hehe abenufiala ene edo lesukua mechi mortal then eho posting cho GES bo doda sukude. So other things are possible to be said. So they are elements that we can find in the bigger one. So we are looking at Aziaku. Why do we say Aziaku Sronu Mamlean? Why are we drawing that conclusion? Can any of you say it?
Because the remaining is by confirmation.
What do you mean?
The remaining is supposed to be by confirmation.
Say it again.
According to my knowledge, it's supposed to be confirmation for the remaining. Maybe any other degree should be by confirmation.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that after the PhD, the professorship, I think it's by confirmation.
Because feel like the idea is that Namoba Dr. Ziakunye Tatona Epedopa Enyayobla Banto Nyebe ya Ula Yombe Dokita. If you have a astronomer, Mamlenya Tepe. Are you getting it? Okay. Then Evelia Nyebe Any tato. Then what the other thing that should be obvious, nyebe. Okay, a tato de aleko tiane must be known to you. Then a tato at a place must be a senior lecturer or a professor. Okay. Then that tato must hold a PhD. Now, so one, he hold a PhD, he is a senior lecturer. All these things should be known to you. For example, who a doctor is, non-be doctor, who a doctor is. If it is not known to you, you may not know the other entail situations. So,
Okay, dog.
Now, good. So, definitely. If you he must work in the department. Happy tato now. That is the assumption. That's the basic one. Then Efianula the so he teaches there. Okay. So these things should be known to you. But Neoko, then if you have matter bubu cho department bubu wavanyeta na mele department bubu, though it happens. Mostly if you have no kwama dekele department mao wanyeta na o have you on a hema. So what is known and what is obvious nyebe ama ele department the person has this qualification. So let's say your head teacher James nye at Tatona school. What are the qualifications? What are the things that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, don't forget it. I don't
If you understand it, at the interview, your pass. Me kwa nene man. At the interview, be anye tato alo the OTI. Then book we never he has a higher qualification than others. Alo agbẹnọnọ let's see who amamamao. Alo ẹwọ ẹfẹ tọ nyume who amamamao. Are you getting it? Or because he belongs to entity party, get overboard. If you make a parambubu, Akunya Trevi, nobody Trevi, So we have entailing situation. What are the entail situations?
Jilauku.
Have you ever Jilauku? Have you ever number managing Trevi? Have you ever Jilava or one car? Oku. Look at Hangali.
Have you ever Mako Parangto?
Parang Tamalesio. That's also yes, possible. Nek parang Tamalesio then Ankawo. So the list continues.
Eduawo ohaku.
She is an example, so she is calling herself. But your father is alive. Be careful.
Anyanu Blanito.
Anyanu Blanito.
Efuawo. Efuano.
Efuawo. I'm a Efuawo. Okuyawo.
Suku dada ha. Bangwa igel. La suku dada ma.
Okay, attention more time. Ako, have you heard it? Okay. I will hear the Sutuavu. the accelerated one.
My family, my father so mala obvious woman.
No, it's obvious, but we have exceptional situation. Like what I mean, name be Nancy, no fear. Yeah, me be okay. It means that Nancy, I be kuku te father kamala for now. Ke atanjo be Nancy kunye nyonu le juame. That be kuku te fella for ne they didn't have any other option. Tayoko kodofia. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So we may be stranded. So we have types of interment.
Okay.
Yes.
Aku mabie bebia. Afia ba la interment ma ya nyatapanya kunyina asia yi.
Make like Paviabe. The man yantafo, the Haman yantafo.
Okay.
That time you'll be man yantafo.
You come you.
Like what I may know, Ben. As Yakunya Fiafito. Okay. That might not be possible.
So
I get it.
it means that when the parameters given, one is false, then it means that the premise is also likely to be false. The premise is that Dr. Ziakunye Tato, so he is the head of his department. Then another premise is saying that he didn't complete his PhD. If he didn't complete his PhD, then it means that it might be false that he is not the head of department, because for you to become a head of department, you need to have a PhD. So
Lekpɔɖe me nenye be wònye tatɔ, ate nye nyateƒe nenye be ame yiwo ke le afi ma godzia, wo hã meho PhD o, ye PhD mele esi o. Koko kɔdze be tatɔ nanɔ anyia, ate nɔ afi ma nye tatɔ hã.
Yes, that's possible.
That's possible. We'll go and bring somebody from another department who has PhD.
That's not always the case. Like other women, let's this is factual. Okay. Then if we want to agree with that, what happens is the person will be acting head. If you have a more qualified head, though, and then so he will be acting. So when I came to the university, I made an acting head for long. So I was wondering, why would the person be acting for all this while? Now, before you become a head of department, you had to be a senior lecturer. So the person was not a senior lecturer, so he was acting head. Acting head, I'm a head of Guima.
Oh, acting.
Okay, so that's about entailment, and then entailment are very holy. We have a unilateral entailment. Maybe it's what is unilateral entailment?
Unilateral entailment mostly is about is basically the same thing we are talking about, but in this case, the two we give two premises or two sentences. Tamia na nyagbe opa mavie. Kamiala nkuda opa mavie unkpola bedin. open direction. Tafia be jebe nyagbe nemile nkude eyale slide ma nyagbe ele hafi nyagbe bi hanle ta nyagbe eya ejebe na wa lo bi deme gake bi na bi ma no kokoko be bi na lo demo so menye ego evemo unlike be A should be dependent on B and then B should be dependent on A. This one, the direction is only one. That is why we are calling it unilateral. It is in only one direction. Tanemi be John nyetra. Atanfia be John mother's wrong o. Gakena mi globe John mother's wrong o. Mafia be John nyetra. I don't know whether the point is. Maka nyetra.
America Madison.
America Madison.
Okay. Gaka America madasron ne amadam na madam madasron do fia benye tre.
Ato hanya be nyong le boga kamadi. Obi ami madasron ato hanya be nyong le bo. Akamadi ga kono be nyetra efi be nyong mala bo kra.
Ya no fia be Johna do mahi esron ya makpo de hadako. Maybe ela tron de ge.
Kano be na John makpo de sron ko amefi be nyetro do mahi
Ah.
nyonu kwa le kono ne. De medi.
Gaka na mi be John nyetra. Ka fia be kokoko e fia be John madasron o. So do we get so the truth of A is dependent on B, but B is not dependent on A. Mekwa.
Madam.
Mami.
Madam Kude. No. Klabia ga domini namsia.
Yo mi bede unilateral entailment nyela nkulem de direction kadodo ikele nyagbe wa mavedomi. Nemi cho nyagbe gbanto ikemie yo yombe nyagbe ea efe nyatepe ya ekpo de biji gake bi fe nyatepe ya mekpo de ejio le kpodome mi cho kobe egale tata osi ye wo enye vie tata wa tankpo jio gake ewo ikenye devia maybe efe ikene ho at that time matankpo tata ojio ta ejikpokpo at that level direction de kakoli tata onakpo oje o matale tata oji kpogo kami gboglombe example ya la fi anye nyagbe e abe John nyetre ke bibe John madasron o ta esi afia be John nyetre efia be kokoko John madasron o ga kama fia be John first from ademadea efia be enyetre Rakwa ema kokoma.
John Bona Stronger.
So in English, we say that John is amayo into your mother's na like me yona la yevugbame.
Bachelor.
It's a bachelor.
Yes. So the first sentence is saying that John is a bachelor. It means that John is not married. But if we say that John is not married, it doesn't necessarily mean that John is a bachelor. It could mean that he is not yet married. He may get married.
So before you are called a bachelor, you must reach a certain age. That is also a factor.
Yeah.
Then John Madison or Mother's wrong, mother's wrong, it's wrong, Melessio. Make back you, the every you make bill. Can we have that situation too? Who are clean what they call Melio?
Okay.
When we talk about unilateral entailment, unilateral, if you have somehow they are parallel. It always reminds me of a situation when lecturer there, I know German befian like Enfield level. Never Enfield will go afia German be. Ka onon wa fiem. Ke achi eho over 70. Ta obe semester jogoma German be pa alphabet kwa no fefiem. Who name no kemo ha be mo vota, you still be there. Yeah, me vai reporting and I had it. They open more normal. So we have to stop taking the course because the essence of the German course was that for the second year you should be able to read materials in German language and to understand and use it for your studies. Now the person will be teaching you for 2 years. You'll be learning alphabet. Then what is the need? So then the head said we shouldn't go and register the course. Then Mifako, Manabe, so you went to the head and the head told you that that is unilateral decision. It's unilateral decision. And this man was saying unilateral decision forever and ever in the class. So time over unilateral entailment. Miva Babulombe, Bantua, Eledokesi, Evelia, Haledokesi, but somehow, Miatanko, Eveliale, Bantome. Let's read the whole thing and see. Make Alan Heleganamio. Make Alan James, Lenamasa.
Yo, yeah, Mama Rook, my friend. Entailment for how unilateral entailment. Anya asi John nanya ba nyagba de kafe nyatefe nyanya. Nyatefe na nyagba bubu. Manya afa go ba nono o. Banto John
no be mele mo anka ofia
afia ba anya alereka ni blomola to sura kare ko re ngbogblo
kaman la taba katande mo
okay
over easy
nyagba banto John nyatre nyagba avalia John ma restaurant o ama koko John nyatre lonya
si ademe
John nyatre lonya siare ama ba shomala John CO gakanya siama lo bi alo akpa valiare ama o ala bana nanya ba shron mala John C fifia o hala mafia ba restaurant po o Maraku
yeah, it's a bit technical in this way. Now let's look at the second one. Okunye nufia tokalala.
Akpa valia Goku le teƒe gbãtɔ le nusɔsrɔ̃ me.
Okay. Now let's look at the comment.
Gokunya. Okay. Nyagbe gokunya nufiala la malo goku le teƒe gbãtɔ le nusɔsrɔ̃ me ɖe eme o melɔe ɖe me o elabena menye nusrɔ̃lawo katã siwo le teƒe sia woe va le service wɔm le nusrɔ̃ƒea o. Efia be ele unilateral.
Okay, so let's go back and look at this again.
I think there is a little mistake in that part of the slide. The A is supposed to entail the B, but the B doesn't necessarily entail the A.
So me for Okunya Nufia Dog Lala. Okay. What is possible about a teacher? Nufia Dog Lala, that is a TA at the university. Okay. The Mianyanu Chuangwa.
Yeah, Dog Lala. TA
is somebody who assists the lecturer in teaching and doing research. Formerly, we were calling them research assistants. Now, first degree, while employ the department. Then, I perform there and a file from the lecturer in a lecture. I call file pay. I went on my bar. No, no, fear my own, no, some. Yeah, the TA. Then, the lecturer, Melly, were. And then they do that. But in some cases, you can interact while the lecturer is around. So that's the responsibilities of a TA. Now, the service persons will always visit TA. Then 1 year they come and do their service in the department. I mean, Miko Kwadangwa, Miafati Edeka, Onkonya Goku. Goku are first class, okay. Goku let the Pegban Tolem Sosrome, that is the second one. Then Gokunye Nufia Dokpalala, so it's a service person or a teaching assistant. Now, what do we find? Mi blog bambe miakpo the kale the kamen gake the kamele the kemo. One is embedded in the other one, but the other one is not embedded in it. Me nyama miebla ta hey miebla embe a le b me gake b me le a mo. Is that not what we said? Okay, let's look at it. Be hey, I had the miakpo a le b man. Maybe can we find that? Make your comment.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, my bomba anoma. Goku le teƒe gbãtɔ le nusɔsrɔ̃ me abe hayi ke ne gbãtɔ yi ke nye magblɔe be ne ame aɖe nye nufiadɔkplɔla efia be gbã wokpo ŋudzedze le eƒe nufiafia nu alo eɖo teƒe aɖe ye eƒe nunyaƒe kɔkɔme yi ke ne le sia ewɔe be ɖoƒe me hã wòate ŋu ahoe. Ke nu yi ke me be bia le yemie nye be ɖoƒe me yi ke ne wòlea menye teƒe ko wònye ame sia ame wotsona kɔ na ame sia ame, ke boŋua enye ɖoƒe yi ke ne ame yiwo ke ne woƒe susu eɖana, ame yiwo ke ne enye ame yiwo ke ne
James.
Oh.
James.
Dog,
This semantic is a technical one. If you make it like it's a social event, now. Now, what you are saying to be found in the A. For example, John Nyetre, who is a tre? I made this wrong. Yeah, the second one says that John made this wrong. So we can say that John Nyetre, I'm going to Nyetre, I feel best Ramalesio, men and Mawa. So somehow there's a link, but technically we are using something to knock it out. Be bimele emo be John Nyetre, mefia be medesron, egbe anyetre, gake atanye be nyonu le egbe nyonu dege. We gave all the scenarios. Now, if we come to Goku nyenu nu fia dog palala, that is a statement. Now, let's look at it. Nuka emia deleme hafi edeman or demeo. That should be your focus. Esema.
Yeah, dog, myself.
Aja gomani afiga ka no fa ko me va explain ale bi me lo e de mo wa. Ye me va genyu.
So do you have to? You have to give us something that will knock it out. Alema no meo. James, that's what you have to say.
So for James,
No market perenwa le pakpajia ika manu eamoa eamo enye ba goku fa te fa gbanto le nutrosron me ka goya ma nutrosron vovovo li ika ro mahin ma nyi ka na lo agbanlere agbara nutrosron kokore mo ta
just use the statement you can see. Don't think outside the box. The only thing is that nukaya ajo nkaya ajora me mamla yi oke o ha ole tefe gbanto ga ke o menye nufia dok plala o ga olo for James. So you can get first class, but you don't necessarily become a teaching assistant.
Okay, tahama bana voga babia mano maya kukokumo. Okay.
Good. Okay. So now you have drawn your conclusion. That's what I want. Okay. So, can you give example?
Doc, hello.
I have an example, but I'm lucky.
Meku anyesera.
Meka.
Seraphim.
Seraphim, hala jayama. Seraphim, kala
Oh, Mele.
Why did you come late?
Oh, Mele pa.
She was here.
Meku, media ma example po ne you pense mo chaka ni. Abe se sentence A. Nema gbobe chile jajam pe vie. Chile jajam pe vie. Allo ceci maza ceci chile jajam ceci. Sentence B. Ema gbobe chile jajam. Chile jajam. Efiabe le example kamera ela equota ke bi ala ebere mi adele eme yakene me yo evion le gbogbo mama chile jajale fi le bi ƒe nyala efia magatɔ ŋutora bia ɔsi be leke tsia ko le dzadzam mi tɔ agblɔ be ele dzadzam sese ta efia be matɔ ado le bi mo elabena ele leke magatɔ dzra ta bi la bi ƒe nyagbugblɔ be tsi le dzadzam la mi matɔ meɖo kpedzi ale si tsia tsɔ le dzadzam adɔ be tsia ɖoko le dzadzam vie lo alo ele nyɔnyɔ alo edza tetetete la kpotɔ gake gbãtɔ ya la egblɔ ɖo kpedzi ale yi ke tsia kɔ le dzadzam be tsia le dzadzam sesĩe.
Ke woƒe nyagbe velia nye ka?
Etsia le dzadzam.
Nyagbea ne wòanye A and B. Ke egblɔ na mi be maybe A lɔ B ɖe me. Gake B melɔ A ɖe me.
Yo. A si le dzadzam sesĩe. B si le dzadzam. Fifia A lɔ B ɖe me.
Awo. Mana nyagbe velia nana A mia maintain woƒe nyagbea etsi dzadzam sesĩe. B gagbawo katã woyɔ le aƒea me. Fifia yi dzi.
Gagbawo katã yɔ le aƒea me. Efia be.
So we'll say that etsi yɔ gagbawo katã.
Okay.
Tsi le dzadzam sesĩe. Tsi yɔ gagbawo katã. Efia be lɔ bi ɖe me.
Susu kata wòlɔ ɖe me.
Elabena ne megblɔ be tsi yɔ gagbawo katã la, mefia be tsi koe le dzadza etsi dzadza gbɔ tsolo alo ame aɖe de tɔme wòyɔ gagba.
Good. Egagblẽ nya ɖe.
Wotɔ be nuadɔnu aɖe me vivia le eƒe opposite gblɔ.
Okay. Lɔ bi ɖe me elabena tsi dzadza la yɔ gagba tsi dzadza la yɔ gagba la. Alo.
Ke aleke B melɔ A ɖe me.
B melɔ A ɖe me elabena menye nu si dza o.
Menye tsi dzadza koe ana gagbawo ayɔ le aƒea me. Ame ɖe de tɔme kɔ ɖe wo me. Efia be ɖuƒe wo nye ma.
Kpeɖeŋu me mi be ama fa bli. Okay. Ama fa bli alo de bli gble. Okay. Ye mi va that is A. B ama le wɔ kple ɖam. Alo le bli kple ɖam alo le bli mem. Okay. So we can find A in B be the bli gble. There's likelihood be eblia
memola alo ye do kotuo
heyo de fedo ko tuo ko la klada me alo ya va nge vale meme. Okay. Gaka for B to be unilateral ne mano emewa efia be mi ama do va pleblia ka viva ko da pla etom krama chi adeko. That's possible.
Sir.
Yes.
Okay. Amanya kuno.
Anya kuno. Okay.
B. Esina majivipo o. Esina majivipo o. Bia. Maraku.
Mama nazala emewa.
Ataje
nazama.
Okay. Yo, akpe. Afia ba gada bima kake bia. Mate gada emu. Ala ba ama lube ama ɖe nye konɔ fia be eɖe srɔ̃ enɔ tsuƒe va de asi ne gaƒoƒo aɖe eye mesia menya be gaƒoƒo va yi mate ŋu agaɖe agadzi vi o.
Clap for yourself.
Today, for lucky.
Well done.
Thank you.
Maunolo, maybe I like Blangala no fiatano.
Ke dia efuma gegege ɖe eye monye be mɔkpɔkpɔ li be ama yi ne ɖe srɔ̃ wòle tuƒe ɣeyi ko le be wɔdzivia meɖo nɛ ta egbɔna dzi ge kokoko yi te yamate ge ɖe mo ɖo.
Akpe.
Well done.
Nyamata vale Nancy von Cosson like you.
Yeah. Nancy Nedala.
Doctor Melkufi como vaduta como vadua fomanki. Tamale moji me mosanga kama vadu tafako va break magvala. Nanako kumesimu abi.
You ma wadu na pesa.
Oh, vinyo ho dala kama va.
Okay. Oh yeah, go okay. Kaja ba mi akpa. So what do we do?
Temi ese bia gomo.
Amen.
Dogo tu dunye se gomo. Be mi akpalo alumia idia.
Mi akpa. This one is not an option. It's not entailing an entailment situation. Yeah. Mi akpa. That Fifiamiendo entailment per how that is what we are looking at. Okay. The Nemiekpa Fiakuma cause slide accordingly, though there are typographical errors. Okay. Even this one is already in PDF. Tamakododami. And let me actually so that let me discuss it. Kaba. Maybe I'm going
to Fia example yana wofia masana na kala tumota na baba na come to me.
Love you.
He's done well.
Thank you.
Dr. Makuka echodina no masa obomayo.
No, I'm down.
Abi ananya obono.
And
Yeah, be a down one wa claiming.
Abi one hour claiming. So kami grammar jalo. Alomia is semantics seji. Then let's do the semantics again, okay?
Okay.
Because it's a bit technical.
Mina kuyo.
Okay. Maybe it's ASEAN.
No.
Okay, Doctor Kam. Makuka.
And the amount for me, Taicho. I'm sending the material to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mavis.